magistrate, she did search warrants. She did small claims. She just jumped in and did everything as just one of the workers there. But that's the professional side. And the personal side, she just won the building over. She won me over. And my chief probation officer, Dennis Byetta, is here, is going to say a few words. She won him over as well with enthusiasm, optimism, energy, and commitment to just getting it done. Yeah, she is a wonderful person. You know what I didn't know either until she's a heck of a lawyer too. She's a good lawyer. She's a good person. She's a worker. And when you're down in the dumps, like we all are at different times, she just picks you up. Whether, you know, you hear Kirsten arrive before you see Kirsten. And when you do, and it's good morning, and she just picks you up. She's just a tremendous person. I'm going to miss her terribly, but I'm glad for her that she's making this move. I think it's a good move for her. It's a great move for the Boston Municipal Court, and I couldn't be more enthusiastic about supporting her nomination. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any of the councilors have any questions? Thank you very much. Good to see you.
Let's see it too.
We're going to hear from this person who's not on the list. Our good friend, State Senator Nick Collins, is doing an outstanding job. State Senator, he's from South Boston. So if it's okay with you, can we hear from him?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Chair Iannella and members of the council. I'm here today in support of the Honorable Kirsten Hughes. We're in a really important moment here in South Boston. I also want to put out here that we really want to see the support from the justice system to invest in the South Boston District Court. It's crumbling, and to have that in condition. It was the site was the original site of the Perkins School for the Blind, and it's completely handicap inaccessible, and the place is collapsing. So what I'm most excited about this nomination for is having somebody in Clerk Magistrate Albertson, who was appointed, so nominated and approved by the council for a judgeship. We're in a void. And a void that needs to be filled. This is a district that covers Melania Cass and Mass Ave. The mental health and substance abuse issues that Kirsten has worked on at Stoughton, and in the issues that working on in Quincy, very similar. That lens is so important, and the energy that the justice spoke of, we need badly. And we're grateful that, you know, people in public service bring that energy, and we're got an opportunity for a district that really is at a you know, inflection point that is going to have the support from the justice system from within in the form of its clerk magistrate to continue that difficult work and ensure that courthouse stays open. But that, you know, there's no real on-the-job learning. We don't have a lot of margin for error, and I think the work that Kirsten has done has prepared her for this this task, and really an excellent candidate. And I speak on behalf of my colleagues in South Boston, as someone who's represented this jurisdiction for a decade. We're excited about the prospect of having Kirsten lead the district court's clerk magistrate.
Thank you. Any questions, Councilor Kennedy?
Dan.
Doing okay. I'll tell him you were asking. Thanks.
Good.
Councilor Duff?
Tell me again what you were saying about the court being accessible.
Well, it's not a new court. It needs to be accessible. Yeah, it was the first site of the Perkins School for the Blind, and it's the most inaccessible building in the Commonwealth.
What are you doing in the Senate to bring money to these courts? Because
Absolutely.
I feel they're talking about trying to retrofit and fix this court to the tune of 90 million, which we know is going to be 150, and it still won't be accessible. So my question to you as a senator, and I know this isn't what you expected here.
No, that's fine.
What are you guys doing, sitting on all this money, this ARPA money and all this other stuff, to fix these courts in our court system? The judiciary is 1/3 of the government. It gets 2.5% of the budget. We don't control that. If folks come in here from the House and Senate and tell us Because we deal with them every single day. And so where are the bills from you and your colleagues and the appropriations to fix the courts so people like this woman and these judges can properly do their work and we have true access to justice? Because frankly, right now we don't. And so I'm really.
No, I can respond. Oh,
Senator.
we've done the work, though. We just passed the bills. They're on the,
So the money
governor's signed off on it. It's a bonding issue.
for,
Both
Excuse me, let him finish, let him.
both IT and capital. I mean, it was in the public domain.
for South Boston.
No, for the entire system.
Okay, and how
And
much is
the
it?
system,
How much is it?
19 on the table for South Boston, but, from a reauthorization, but it has to get authorized by the governor, and the justice, system needs to call for that. The trial court, DCAM, they play a dual role.
I know that
Funds are on the table.
the funds
We
are.
need the support from the justice system to prioritize that.
So what are you guys gonna do in Springfield? Because it's a disgrace.
Well, they're probably the top priority as it relates to the capital budget, but again, I don't know, the money's on the table.
You know, that's
Let's
the,
say something true, but I'm here to support this candidate.
that's the problem. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Counselor Jubenville?
I heard your answer to Councilor Kennedy, but I want to say hi to your father too.
Well, it's the same.
Doing,
He's doing well. He got the grandkids on his mind, so.
say how 76 or 70 it was. He was rep at the time. Just make sure you say hi.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you. Counselor Devaney?
I want to welcome you. I think it's the first time, Senator.
Yeah, first time I've testified here.
Don't be a stranger.
I won't.
No, I'm pleased with what you're doing, and it's true about the courts and through the pandemic. So, yeah. But thank you for coming. Nice surprise.
Yeah, I don't have any questions, just to let you know, I think you're doing an outstanding job. It's a difficult job as senator. Sometimes people don't realize that you're doing a great job, and just like Jubenville and Kennedy, say hello to your father for me.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you, good to see you. Next, we'll hear from Dennis Maeda, Chief Probation Officer, Stoughton District Court.
Thank you. Good morning. I'm proud and humbled to be here in support of the nomination of Kirsten Hughes. Next year will be my 40th year in the probation service. And this is the first time that anyone has ever asked me to come testify in front of this council. And I believe that my presence here today is a testament to the relationship of cooperation and collaboration that Kirsten brought to the Stoughton District Court. Hughes, as the judge said, assumed her position at the Stoughton District Court a matter of weeks before the pandemic of 2020. But at that time that she walked in, she immediately displayed leadership during a difficult time managing her department, most importantly, keeping her employees safe and healthy, but continuing the work of the court. Anyone knows Kirsten is aware of her energy and her enthusiasm, and that's exactly what she brought to the Stoughton District Court. I marvel at how quickly she became a respected leader and how she reorganized her department into a high-functioning office. Her collaboration with the First Justice, the security department in our building, and my office has been outstanding, and in all honesty, refreshing. I support her wholeheartedly, and I hope you get a chance to look at the letter that I submitted, and I truly mean that our loss will be South Boston's gain. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Counselor Jubenville?
How long have you been in Stoughton?
I've been back in Stoughton for 17 years, but I was there, for 13, almost for 10 years.
You did good work down there. You had a lot to work.
We had a couple of good cases together. Thank you, Counsel.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Good to see you. At this point, we'll hear from Kirsten Hughes. If you could give us a little brief summation as to how you're doing, how you did do at the Stoughton District Court, and why you want to be a clerk at the South Boston District Court.
Sure. Well, first, let me thank publicly, obviously, the governor and the lieutenant governor for nominating me to be the clerk magistrate at the South Boston District Court. And it's a great opportunity for me. And I want to thank all of you. I know that you have taken time out of your busy practices and schedules to make time to speak with me or meet with me and talk. And I know you have many nominees on today. So thank you for your time. I had, which was alluded to earlier, I started at Stoughton at what was an exciting time for me, obviously as a new clerk magistrate. And, I had a lot of enthusiasm to go into the court, and it was very exciting. Had some great folks that I just met. And then, as was discussed, we closed about 12 weeks later for COVID. That was a difficult time, certainly for the court. We had to adapt on a short-term basis to how to carry through with operations, logistics, and really it's due to the phenomenal commitment of the staff there as well as the department heads. As you can see here, the two department heads here today from the Stoughton District Court. Stoughton's a wonderful place. It's a great community. The best part about these district courts is the fact that we are so close to the community. People come in, we know them, we have an opportunity to see cases through from the beginning to the end, working with families. It's something that I love. One of the number one things that I love about the job. My whole career has been really about public service and working within the community, in my home community of Quincy, which is just about a stone's throw over the Neponset Bridge to South Boston. And so South Boston is such a wonderful community. I started off my career there as a 303. Back in, I don't want to mention what year. Yeah, I don't want to mention what year. But 2007. And it was a wonderful place, like I said, really near and dear to my heart. So this is really just the culmination of something that's come full circle. To have the opportunity to go back to Boston Municipal Court in the South Boston Division is a real honor. And I'm excited to roll up my sleeves. There are many challenges facing the court as well as the community at large. A lot of development in that community, bringing an influx of people, and certainly addiction and the same problems that plague all of the cities and towns that we all care about. So I'm excited to bring the knowledge that I've gained as the clerk in Stoughton, almost 3 years, working all the jobs there, getting to know the system, and I'm excited to bring that experience and couple it with my love of working within the community and addressing some of those major issues. So I would just ask for your vote today, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Ms. Hughes. Councilor Duff, do you have any questions?
I've really enjoyed watching you grow in this position. Honestly, I was not a supporter when you first came before us. We talked a lot about that, why, I say you were very earnest. But I do believe that you judge people on the job that they're actually doing, and I have to say, I think you're doing a fine job. So this is a lateral move, and I see absolutely no limit.
Thank you very much. Councilor Terrence Kennedy.
The enthusiasm you bring becomes infectious. Everybody absorbs it and gets excited, and they get renewed in terms of their enthusiasm for the job. Do the same thing in South Boston. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor DiPaolo.
It's a lateral move. Congrats on your nomination. I have no questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Joseph Ferrara.
Nice to see you. You're doing an awesome job. You have my vote. Sorry.
Thank you. Councilor Robert Juvenville.
I knew you when you were a lawyer, and I always was impressed by the work that I saw you do in the courtrooms. And when you're down in Stoughton, when I'd go in there, with the well-run court with good staff, and you were always a pleasant face and treated people wonderful down there. So, but one thing is, I'm not going to vote for you any more after this one.
Noted.
Let me say this. There's a very good chance, well, I shouldn't say very good. If I'm still around and something else happens, unlike June, I'll be more than happy.
Good to know.
Councilor Devaney.
Thank you. Where it's a transfer, I have no reason to vote against it, but did you choose to transfer?
Well, there was a position vacancy, and so I had to apply, so I did. Well, I didn't have to apply, I wanted to apply, so I did put the application in.
I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up because I don't know the rest of the story of what happened. Okay, because when you first came before us, it's less than 2 years ago, there was quite a controversy going on, and it was in the media. And I just want to know how that resolved. You were the chair of the state Republican committee, and you formed a committee, I thought it was great, to help Republicans and to give money to senators and reps and everything. So anyway, come to find out, some people weren't getting it. And I remember when I asked you about that, because I got calls from Republican candidates, and you said, oh, we only gave them people 35 cents. Well, I got calls from Republican candidates. One was Pina Prenzavali of Tewksbury, and he was running for state rep, and he lost by 4 votes. And he received 0 finances. Now, what happened was, about 100,506, Caroline Alcock, David Drummond did 1,000, and so forth and so on. They all got big things. But instead of the contributions going to these candidates, which would be building up in the Republican Party, it was noted in the media, and I did my homework on it. The contributions went to dinners, parking garage, travel, cell phones, $100,000 for dinners, including more than $30,000 at the Capitol Grill, and other expenses, steakhouses, $164,000 for parking fees at the garage, and $18,000 on Uber rides. Now, I'm just concerned about, I never heard what happened, and I know all of these names, I don't know who they are, I don't know where they went, but they got a lot of money from your, from your funding, and you had a budget of $2 million a year. Now, I just want to know what happened. What happened to that? Because I never heard the rest of the story.
I mean, essentially nothing. No one ever contacted me regarding anything improper and anything.
Well, you were lucky because the other people did. But I'm just, the other thing was that I noticed, and when I met with you, I told you that I never saw an application like yours. There were so many gaps in every single job that you had, 7 months, 4 months, almost a year. And I know, and I thought it was kind of nice that you were a singing waitress. I don't know why you didn't want to say that's what you were doing. I would have been proud. I would have said, gee, I'm talented. But I'm just concerned about, do you have any regrets that, I think whether you're Republican or Democrat, I think it's a wonderful thing to build up these people. And I thought, gee, I wish the Democratic committee did that. That's great. And I was just wondering, how is that still going on? Taking that funding?
Well, I couldn't speak to what goes on now there, for sure. I'm not in touch with anybody that runs the organization currently. But, I'm proud of the work that I did with my team, and I felt like we supported everyone, and that we did what we could for the organization and for the candidates running. And again, I'm really proud of the work my team did, and that we all pulled together. And
Well, people know I'm full-time, I do my homework. And after all my investigation, I didn't vote for you. And you're transferring now, and if you're doing the job, I will vote for you. But I'm really concerned because you haven't answered. We have why this money went to all the people working for you, and some poor, a candidate lost by a few votes and never got any money. So, as I said, I just wanted to ask you, if it's still going on, are they still giving money? Do people still get a lot of money working over $100,000 working that funding? So I'm concerned because I never heard the rest of the story and I still don't. And I might still look into it. I don't know where it is now. But as far as this transferring, I have been saying it for years. I can't understand why they can't do this within the courthouse. If someone's having a lateral position, I don't know why. So I hope that we can get that message to them that we should have to. I mean, there's judges, believe it or not, who have gone from, well, Judge Curran, there was too much, Superior Court, so we asked to go back to the district court, didn't come back here. That's we should have come back, but not some. Voting for you, collateral, but this is resolved and it's still upsetting to me, but thank you.
Thank you. I don't have any questions. Just a brief statement. I was the one who suggested we have the hearing. And the reason being is this. Obviously, everyone gets the sense, you've got great witnesses, that you've been doing a great job in the last 3 years as the clerk of the Stoughton District Court. But let's assume there was allegations, just assume, of impropriety. Well, would this body, just because it's a lateral move, automatically vote for you? I know I wouldn't. Let's assume there were people who testified here today against you, and we know they didn't, that said that you're always come late on the bench, this and that. So I was the one who decided to have this hearing because I want to make sure, and you've done a great job, by the way, that no one was in opposition, that no one had any issues with you. So to me, I think it's a good idea, even if it's a lateral move. I disagree with my good friend from Watertown. Just the way we do it with the Industrial Accident Board. Those are 6-year appointments. We have them come back all the time. We don't automatically. That's not even a lateral move. That's just a reappointment. We have them come back. So that's why I decided the hearing. I'm glad we had the hearing. You did an outstanding job. Everyone I talked to who's been in front of you says you're fair. You give everyone, you give everyone an opportunity to speak. Not everyone's going to agree with you, but you know what? You have the right attitude. You have the right temperament. And next week or this week, whenever it happens, maybe even this week, I'd be more than happy, enthusiastically, in support of your lateral move. Real quick.
Just want to agree with you. I just want to make a statement. I just wanted to say that you did your job. And we were told to have hearings, and that's what we do. And I agree with the reasoning that you have, because that could be, something could have happened, during that tenure. So I think it probably is a good idea. But the other idea that I'd like to see is if someone decides that they don't want to be in a certain court and they want to transfer, that should come before us. So I just want to throw that out to you.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. And all your witnesses, you were all great. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you all.